Hey guys, welcome to Face of TV. We have Dignitas and Epsilon coming up for StarSeries, the first StarSeries we're doing. It's been ages.
It's been a while.
But James is here as usual, and we're ready to kick this off. We do have Cash coming up first, and Dignitas certainly going to be very interesting. Of course, I don't think we've seen like loads of matches with them with their new lineup. Obviously, Fetish going away and get karrigan in there and stuff. It's like really interesting how this is actually going to work out. So I'm very curious to see what work has gone into this, because when they just made the switch, almost immediately they took down LDLC to qualify for MLG.
Yeah.
So now they have had some time.
Straight away.
I'm curious what's going to happen with these guys.
Look at these odds.
There's the odds. All right. Well, Dignitas look pretty good, which is no surprise at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
Epsilon, perhaps, I guess, kind of settling on their level. I mean, we haven't seen them kind of go up that much in recent times. They've just kind of settled.
I'm wondering if, I mean, looking at, let's have a quick look actually where you can't see it. Okay, Biggie is playing for them. So I'm wondering if Biggie is like a permanent player for them. Looking at his, I mean, he's not rocking the Epsilon logo on his Steam profile. So I'm wondering if he's still is he a temporary player? Is he on trial? Is he a permanent player? There's a lot of questions to be asked here. Again, Epsilon, they were kind of in limbo a while before Titan announced that they had RPK on their team, because they were expecting one of them to be picked up for them. It was a no-brainer. But you know, since that hasn't happened, you have to wonder where's their mental state? Like, do they consider themselves? I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on with Epsilon now, and you know, they didn't have a fantastic end to the Faceit Cup where they forfeited twice in one match. So I'm curious to see what kind of performance we can expect from them. You know, if they're training or what's going on. I do believe we are into the pistol round here.
So starting things off actually pretty fast here. Quick information peek there from Dignitas, and the device actually will go down. They're going to spot the rush, but can they get the damage in already? Seeing some good kills coming in from Dignitas for this hold. Smokes to go down, and the trades are coming in now. Scream and Biggie with a few frags of their own. Going to leave dupreeh out there all in the cold by himself. That USP and looking for those shots. They're not particularly weak either, so this is quite a tall order here for dupreeh. He's going to be making his approach from forklift now. That flash perhaps almost saving him. dupreeh is going to go for the one-on-one and does get taken down by FXIO. So, and the whole FXIO thing is also quite fun as well, getting added back and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, we're kicking FXIO, he's toxic. Oh, welcome back, FXIO. Yeah, we kind of had one of our players got the VAC. So, interesting times here. But again, you know, the good thing is, it's kind of like the Dazed situation where they kicked him from iBuyPower, but all of a sudden he's back. So I do wonder if that has if that will change the attitude of FXIO, because you know he knows that they're willing to get rid of him. But it is the second round here, and FXIO, the man himself, does open up things in mid for the Epsilon side. You can see they're just taking a presence, keeping their options open. They have taken a little control of the events as well. But Scream has been dinked 7 HP, and dupreeh just causing massive havoc here for the Epsilon side. Has taken the bomb as well. FXIO goes down, and that Scream's still alive, but with 7 HP.
And they didn't go pistol armor, they just bought a few PT50s. So this is pretty sick what has happened here now.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start to this round here for Dignitas. It is 3 versus 3, but we're definitely going to be happy with how things have gone so far. One-man advantage now for Epsilon as they look to retrieve the bomb, trying to locate where the final CTs are. You can see that bomb just probing towards the back of the area there. We've got a rotation from dupreeh. He's going to take control of the A site, and that pick on cajunb is going to give some information as to where they can expect to find the last CT. He is in a position where he could get one shot to the head, but GMX's P90 will be superior. That was a costly round for Epsilon.
That could have been really cool if he got a quick kill there, because Scream was behind the other player and Scream had 7 health. So that could have got interesting. But yeah, very good result there from them. Of course, let's see what they can pull out of the bag in this round. Running with some PT50s again, just getting that damage in there. And Epsilon need to be a little bit more careful. If they have another round like that, even if they do win it, it's just going to hurt. Like, they could be in so much of a better position if they don't let that happen again.
Yeah, you can see they don't want that to happen again. They've put 4 people towards the A site, so they're all together with one door and left someone towards B just to stop the flank or get some information for their team. Got the smokes and nades coming down now as they look to take this round a lot cleaner than the previous. Rotation is coming in from Dignitas. Bomb not down yet. There we go, there's one going down. 3 players remaining for Dignitas. Is he going to try and tap them with the P90? Looking good so far for Epsilon. And there's the first loss. But the trade does come in, so dupreeh is going to be the last man standing. Going to look to do as much damage as possible here. Only 1 man falling for Epsilon on this occasion, so we have the buy round coming out now for both teams. AWP coming out straight away for Device. Obviously before you'd see Fetish rocking the AWP for Dignitas, but he's no longer there, so at least on cash, looks like Device is going to be running with it.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. And a P90 on GMX still, so that's not going to help too much in these, in middle at least, but we'll have to see how they actually go for the push here. Looks like they want to try and make that effort towards the A bomb side, perhaps going to throw in a bit of a set play. You can see the smokes being lined up there by GMX already. And we'll have to see, oh, that's for the quad boxes, I believe, so that they can get out the door pretty easily. And we'll have to see if they're going to be able to make this work. We do have karrigan up on the bomb site box there as well, so quite a nice position, not something too common, and that's going to allow them to see over the smokes as they are going to go in here. And there are some good counter flashes going in. karrigan going to take the peek up from the top of the box. Nice defense coming in so far for Dignitas, as we do have Biggie able to take down karrigan. In comes Device with that AWP. Good shot there onto Biggie. 2 players left standing here for Epsilon, as that bomb is yet to go down.
Yeah, he started planting it, but something spooked him and he went back to the quad boxes. So I guess he didn't know if the CTs were close or far. You can see him, Uzzziii there, holding the bomb. Not in a position to plant it just yet. He's going to use that smoke to get the bomb plant now, as the screen covers the other side. That nade going to do a little bit of damage. But again, we still have a 3-man retake here for Dignitas, including the AWP, which is going to be on Device. So he's going to be looking towards A main. Misses the shot though, has backup from a teammate, but still 3 versus 2 here.
Nice work there from Scream. Going to be able to spot the next player as well over at Forklift. Scream doing a great job. That's the second frag. There's just 1 left in Device. He's got the AWP. He's got to get out of there. Does get the shot on the retreat onto Scream. Gets the second exit as well, but they're not going to get the defuse. And honestly, it looks so positive for them to be able to make that happen. But Epsilon, you've got to really credit how well they held their nerve in that situation.
Yeah, one crazy thing was, you saw one of the players on the A site for Dignitas. When all those smokes were down, Epsilon, they were in a quad boxes area, but they weren't in an area to actually plant the bomb. But that somebody charged through the smoke on the CT side, and made things a bit easier for Epsilon. Obviously, they're going to have a massive advantage versus someone who's walking through a smoke and is going to be unable to see them for a considerable amount of time.
So we do have the force up from Dignitas, as Device was able to keep that AWP alive. So got a man deep below the boost there, which is definitely a good position to hear all the information if you are going to hear any stepping in A main or around the boost.
Looking at the position of the Epsilon side, I don't think that they're expecting the force buy from Dignitas. They're playing very passive, which screams to me that they're looking for an eco push here from the CTs. So it's interesting to see how they will react once they realize that the Dignitas side are indeed holding rifles and deagles where they couldn't afford. They may be expecting a sight stack here.
He's very important here in this position. They're going to wall off the middle with the smokes. karrigan, if we can get a couple frags here, that's going to be huge in trying to deny this push into that B bomb site. They're going for that split. And so far it's a little bit staggered, and we can see Dignitas have worked quite a few players around. They've got 2 on the site. 1 player, cajunb, ready to go up to heaven with that deagle. Not the best weapons ever, but you never know what you're going to find with that deag. You have Epsilon slowly taking over here, trying to make their way in. Device with a great shot there onto Biggie. That's going to make things a little bit worse, but Epsilon bursting back out of the vent rooms to try to take control of the situation. But there's still a player on the site. They're getting surrounded at this point. And great hold from Dignitas as Epsilon were kind of stuck, a little bit staggered on the push there.
Yeah, again, they didn't identify for a reasonable amount of time that Dignitas were on the buy there. So you can see their passive positioning, possibly expecting an attempted push, an attempted flank there from Dignitas. Or, you know, they also had to try and find out if they had stacked the site. But Dignitas with good positioning, good patience as well, managed to take that one down. And that's going to be 1 round on the board for them. Going to be Device again with the AWP. And we've got the Rec 9s CZ and a P250 for the Epsilon side. So it looks like GMX is going to throw a smoke down, and his teammates are going to push through the door area. I've got 2 Dignitas players on the site so far. That's going to be a smoke to try and cut off one of the lines for the CTs. Let's have a look at what is going on here.
Going to try to get the plant down in the midst of the smoke, I think. As they do have, yeah, there it is, the pistols in hand as well. Went for that buy-up. This is very LDLC-esque, actually. Saw them do this kind of play a lot in the past. And look at how potentially effective it could be. They got some good positions here. They're all falling. Only one frag to be found. But it was a great effort, and the bomb was planted. So Epsilon, you never know with a play like that, and especially now the CZ has been kind of, some of the nerfs were reverted. You can definitely expect a lot of danger from plays like that.
Absolutely, and you can see the main priority for that round was to get the bomb plant to allow them to have a better buy than they otherwise might have in this round. You can see now they can afford the AWP. Effexio going to rock with the AWP now. He's going to be heading towards A, it seems, not going for the boost. So let's have a look. Does find the frag as well. Good timing there by Effexio. Didn't push out too far. Gave himself a wall to kind of hide behind. And we have the boost into the vents coming in from the CT side now, cajunb. This is often a position where Virtus.pro, as they run into the B site, they shoot it through the grill, the vent. So the Ts are unaware that it's shot down on that side, and they can offer a surprise attack. You can see things have slowed down for the Epsilon side now. 3 players in the mid area following their pick. So again, very important that they deny vision of the bomb to the CTs. However, due to karrigan's position, he may have heard them throw the bomb onto the floor there, so that may be a bit of a clue for Dignitas.
He missed the Molotov.
He missed that twice now.
And did it just disappear completely? That's really weird. Either way, Epsilon now going to be making their way into some more positional middle, trying to take it away. It was, and still is to an extent, a bit of a stronghold here. We can see still karrigan is in good position there, but they're going to fall back, and karrigan's going to hear some of the stepping that's going on. So he's going to be able to offer a very nice bit of insight there for his team. He's going to catch off GMX now as the push comes in. Time is of the essence. 25 seconds left on the clock here for Epsilon as they make their way in. Caught off by Xipnix, but he will go down. Biggie there, trying to work his way around the site for a frag, and he finds it onto karrigan. In comes dupreeh, last man, dealt with by Biggie, and Epsilon are off to a flying start on the T side here on Cash.
Very nice play there. Good patience again by Dignitas. You can see they're just holding positions like in the middle area. karrigan was just holding the side for the longest time. Even while his teammate fell in the vent area, he still had control of mid for his team. But Epsilon proved to be superior in the end, pushing the A site with about 30 seconds left. So very well played by them. The important thing was that, again, I think it was the A site where they took down karrigan as well, while he was trying to run over to Forklift, just to try and hold him back for as long as possible. So 5-2. These rounds are quite close. Double AWPs coming out now for Dignitas. We've got karrigan towards the A site playing different angles. You can see the smokes there, so he's going for kind of Forklift angle to avoid being flashed. And Device is going to be in the mid area. As we have T starting to emerge. So Uzzziii by the vents, currently flashed. karrigan taking down Effexio towards the A site where the bomb is with Scream.
Great shot from Device there with that peek into middle. Epsilon trying to get this A split going, but it's already receiving quite some problems. 2 players dead for Epsilon now. They still need to get onto that bomb site. Dignitas are holding some great positions. karrigan to pick up another kill onto Biggie. Uzzziii comes around, drops Device, but instantly returned there by Xipnix. Scream now left alone against 4 players here. He's going to get taken out as well by karrigan. What a great round from him. And this double up setup definitely looks to be a very nice choice against Epsilon, who were taking a lot of rounds just pretty much by getting some early picks.
Yeah, double up setup is not something I saw that often, if at all, from previous lineup of Dignitas. So interesting to see kind of Titan style, see how it works out for them as we do progress in this match. We're going to see the eco coming out for Epsilon once again, more spread out than their previous eco where they went straight towards the A site. Going to see GMX setting up the same smoke, so it looks like they're going to have a fake here, because obviously last time he did this, we had at least 3 Epsilon players towards the A door, but this time there's Biggie, who may be running distraction to A main, as you can see him there, and the rest of the team are going to be heading towards B. So let's have a look and see if this rotation comes out from Dignitas as this smoke starts to land.
Are they going to buy this? Are they going to buy the fake? Well, this is going to come down to whether Epsilon can, on that A side, actually get a frag as well. And we can see cajunb already rotating here. They're starting to buy a little bit, but cajunb's coming back. I think they had the stepping there. In he goes from up top. dupreeh and cajunb locking it down. That's the bomb down as well. And things are looking very, very troublesome here for GMX and Biggie. Dignitas, without losing a single man, able to hold that fake. So well done to them, and Epsilon now starting to lose their lead.
Indeed. So you could see the rotation started to come in there from the CTs. The player in mid started to move over. One of the players B. But then I think they quickly deduced that there was a lack of presence in A main, and suddenly cajunb went straight back up to ramp in B. So very good hold and play there by Dignitas, kind of countering the attempted fake there by Epsilon. So he seems to be on point today with the entry frags there. He takes down the device in mid. We've got a player close mid and an instant rotation coming from karrigan. Nobody on the A site at the moment. They're going to be running backwards and forwards between A slope and the site, just keeping an eye on things. In the meantime, GMX looking to get a second pick towards the B area. You can see he's positioned in case the CTs try to get a bit aggressive on that side, eliminate the area. He's just going to be poking and prodding, kind of Hiko style, the way you see him play on Cloud9. Sorry, used to play on Cloud9. Excuse me.
Taking it very slow at the moment, Epsilon. Bomb's still down. And from this position, I've seen a lot of teams enjoying a very delayed mid-take into a bit of a B split, especially because if you have that guy in B storage, as we do see with GMX, he can create an opening potentially. But let's have a look and see what happens here, as they are going to leave him just to perhaps slower rotation as they go for an A play. So can GMX get himself a frag here? karrigan already taking down Biggie. So the push is coming in, already spotted at least, and GMX is still trying to push just a little bit. It's inching over by the vent room. See if he can get a pick. Some nades coming in, very tentative stuff. 20 seconds left now. They have to go. Dignitas, no, and there's a great frag from karrigan. I thought it was a double to begin with, but no. These frags coming in, and FXio is going to get a return. Actually taking down karrigan, so they're going to get on the site, but 5 seconds left, 4 seconds. Oh, just barely enough time for the plant.
Very
just
close.
Barely enough time. FXio gets it done. That's a 2-on-2 situation. Maybe that's a 2-on-1 now. cajunb taking down FXio. Scream going to be working with the AK. Not going to happen. And that bomb is going to be defused as Dignitas save it. But that was a very interesting round there. Epsilon trying to do the Na'Vi a little bit.
Epsilon are trying to sell the fakes like it's a Sunday market in Brixton right now, but they're just not falling for it, Dignitas. They seem to just know better. They're standing their ground. You saw 2 on each site there. They were just holding that angle. They just knew. They seemed to just know it was coming, and they got that immediate frag from the first person trying to breach A. It's going to be Epsilon back on the eco now. 5-5. They're not doing terrible by any means at the moment. But looking at the money on the Dignitas side, you can see actually a few of them still quite low at the moment. They could, if they were to lose this round, for example, maybe get 1 full buyout, but then after that there may be questions being asked of their economy.
I do like the approach here from cajunb and what Dignitas on B, just trying to have some more forward control towards B storage. They did have a forward smoke, it's gone now, so cajunb must be careful. We've seen GMX often be the guy that does push B storage, so even if their team is elsewhere, GMX can always be here. So GMX actually smoking it himself to prevent them from pushing B storage.
Worth mentioning that when cajunb was behind that box, which I can't show you because of the smoke, he was facing the box for 2 reasons, in case a flash comes in, as you saw there from GMX, and also, never mind, we'll come back to that later, as we have a fast push here towards the A bomb site from Epsilon. The bomb is in fact still down at the back of mid, so it may get caught as he tries to rotate here by device. Let's have a look. Indeed, cajunb will take him out with assistance from device, and that's pretty much the end of the round here. We'll see if GMX can get any damage in. No, that's going to be a clean sweep for Dignitas. But yeah, so he's standing behind the box, but he's facing the box. A, so he doesn't get flashed, and B, because if he's facing towards the side, the edge of the box, his silencer is going to be exposed to the T's, which will give away his position, as we have seen previously on maps such as Mirage. So that's a nice clean sweep for Dignitas, and that's going to be really important for their economy going forward. dupreeh with $12,500 in the bank. They're going to have AWPs for a while here on this CC side. And again, we have the fast approach towards A. This time, GMX not setting up for the smoke. He's going to be in A main with 4 of his team as Biggie goes towards the door. So I'm quite curious to see what kind of plan they have. Okay, so this is kind of like LDLC where they're using references so they can throw their nades despite being smoked off in A main. Let's have a look at how this is going to go.
There you go, and in it comes. Let's have a look and see if they can get the entries here. We've got Dignitas rotating very quickly, pretty much a straight up 5-on-5 here on the bomb site. But look at these frags coming in from either team. It's pretty even. But now Uzzziii is alone. He does take the kill onto dupreeh. He's got cajunb left to deal with. Flash goes out. Uzzziii looks for the tap. But that bomb is down towards A main. There's plenty of time though. Doesn't have to worry about that just yet. As cajunb does edge closer. In goes Uzzziii with the peek. He gets the frag and cajunb goes down. 6-6 now as Epsilon. They were looking a little bit down and out for a while there as Dignitas were coming back onto the scoreboard. But Epsilon coming right back in this now with a great strategy, nice set play, and as you mentioned, pretty much identical to LDLC. And this is, I think I made the point last cast, this is often why teams don't smoke up A main so that they can see what's happening. Nice timing pick though.
Yeah, that was very nice timing pick there from Effexio. He's got a lot of fast frags here in the first half of this map. It is 6-6 as DDK just mentioned. And again, we've got Biggie going towards the door, just causing some trouble there, as you often see on this map. GMX trying to get a peek through the smoke. Is dupreeh going to take his head off? He's going to just shoot him straight through the corner of the box. So great play there by dupreeh. That's going to bring it back to 4-on-4. Let's have a look at the movement here. Again, very passive from Epsilon at the moment. Just almost looking for pushes here from the CTs, and looks like it's going to be a 3-pronged assault into mid, 1 boosted, 2 in main. Device does have an angle, so he's not exposed to the boost, but if that peek comes out, he's just going to get an easy frag there. Goes for the fadeaway counter flash as well, just in case the push comes in. And you can see Scream has fallen down into the mid area now. 1-man disadvantage here for Epsilon. You can see Scream going towards the B tunnel. I'm quite curious to see where the smoke goes. I think he's using the grenade itself as a reference to throw it. Okay, so that's going to be smoking off just the access to A.
So they're going to burst through connector hit onto that B push with that smoke down. There's a little bit of a gap though, and they're going to get sandwiched in between Device and cajunb there. In goes Scream. They want to take down cajunb, but it's already too much, or too little too late even, as we do have Dignitas taking another round. And Epsilon now down on the money. Going to be purchasing some pistols, but or at least some of them can afford to do that. But otherwise, Dignitas looking to rebuild that bank of themselves. And, you know, we have a Scar coming into play here for Xypnix, and he is going to go towards A. So that's always fun when you get the auto sniper coming in.
Fun for who? We saw what Smith did with. We saw what Smith did
with
the auto sniper, and that didn't look fun at all, unless you're Smith.
And this is a great angle for it too.
They haven't backed off though. I'm wondering if they're gonna go for like a just rush, just run into the meat grinder here.
Yeah, it does look like it. Xypnix is so ready for this.
Line up together.
The Scar was purchased just for this exact purpose. It's just hold mouse on and win the round. Pretty good strats. Okay, 8-6. Epsilon have done really well though on getting some of the rounds that they've gotten, and also in the way that they have has been very respectable. So Dignitas perhaps a little bit surprised, I would think at least, as to how well Epsilon have executed some of these rounds. And FXCO, as you pointed out, has been getting some very key early picks on these timings as well, and some great pre-fires as well, because you can clearly tell he's rehearsed these angles. Going to go in for the mid push again. FXCO does open up once more, but Dignitas are getting the better of these trades. Way better. 3 men down, 4 men down now for Epsilon. It just leaves Biggie against 4 players of Dignitas. This is almost insurmountable as he does go in for the kill, and cajunb is going to deliver him some death with that CZ. And we do have ourselves a 9-6. So that's a great half for Epsilon. They can be pretty happy with that, to be honest.
dupreeh took out GMX twice in the same spot in 3 rounds. The middle one being the eco. So that's unfortunate for him. But Scream didn't really get off. We didn't see the headshots we used to. I don't know if any of you guys saw his 1v1 match versus Tarek recently, which is quite fun from Tarek's point of view. Well, fun if you're watching Tarek's point of view anyway. But yeah, Scream definitely not looking as sharp as we normally expect from him recently. You saw in that last round went for the Galil as opposed to the AK, so he could get some nades, but didn't come to much use as Dignitas did take that last round. Is the pistol round out in the second half, as you can see. We have a big presence in the mid area from Dignitas. We've got 4 people pushing. FXio has no choice but to run away to try and save his life and put himself in a better situation. See a nice peek there from Device towards Toxic, looking into the B bomb site as we start to see the rotation from Dignitas in towards B. I want to say force the CTs out of mid, but there's going to be 3 CTs on the B bomb site, running out of bullets on both sides here, and all of a sudden it's 4 Epsilon CTs versus only 1 of Dignitas. So great play by FXio, who gets the last frag as well. Again, he was in mid on his own, facing 4 Ts. He got the hell out of dodge rather than trying to engage in an extremely unfavorable situation, and manages to help his team eliminate them in more favorable odds, and then gets the last frag to boot.
Yeah, FXio has been doing an amazing job. A lot of the rounds should just be credited to him. Just getting a lot of the entries he has been getting.
Look at those frags.
Tipping the favor really a lot. And yeah, he's definitely going to be a man for that MVP award. But they're going to go in for a quick push here on Dignitas onto this A bomb site. And they're not receiving much luck so far. He's trying to get himself that last final frag. There's the knife, but Dignitas are all eliminated, and Epsilon will pick up another round.
What kind of full-buy strat are you expecting from Epsilon here? You're expecting, I mean, like, especially with FXio, you're expecting him to, say, rotate with an AWP, or play B with an AWP, or play A with an AWP in a kind of dazed position?
I think they even can do 2 AWPs, but I think FXio is very effective. I've seen him be very effective on B and on A, so I guess it depends on how he feels. A lot of CS can be down to how a player feels. I know that, well, hold that thought. We do have the push coming in from Dignitas. GMX ready and waiting. Some good flashes in, but GMX a little bit too much heat to handle there as Benrlitom is overrun by these Ts. Is he going to make his way in there, clean up things a little bit, but dupreeh still lurking. Almost getting a frag as well. Not quite. So just a relatively easy cleanup here so far from Epsilon. But yeah, I would expect FXio, if he's the only one AWPing, he's probably going to be on mid or A. But if they got 2 AWPs, I'm going to actually expect him to be on B, because that's how I saw him play with Epsilon in the past with 2 AWPs. So I'm probably going to be completely wrong, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, initially at least, they're not going to just throw away a rifle to buy an AWP, because they want to try to be as cost efficient as they can, which is always smart. But we are going to have Device AWPing now as well, and we saw
GMX running with the AWP right now.
Oh yeah, that's right as well. And he's just going to go for timing here. So here it is. There's the drop. And
yeah, I think they're playing the spawn right now. We should actually just explain quickly what playing the spawn is. Do you care to explain, Dan?
Well, we can definitely explain that, but right now we have some action coming into the A bomb site. So lots of grenades, lots of flashes. Uzzziii in a very nice position behind that red container, but he can't survive without help, and his teammates, his reinforcements is coming, but it's getting eliminated as quickly as it's arriving, and that is an advantage now for Dignitas, as 3 players of Epsilon are now down. cajunb to make that 1 more. GMX now. Got to try to keep this AWP alive, not going to happen. And to quickly explain what you're talking about, playing the spawn or playing the timing is certain spawns, you can see people spawn in random little spots. Some spawns are much closer to some angles than others. And so by using that spawn and just running straight to that angle, you can maybe beat the Ts to that angle. Sometimes you have a better timing to that angle. And we saw in that previously that GMX was going for the B storage angle in that instance. Quick over the top push here. Very bold indeed from Dignitas. It is paying off at least initially, but big presence from Epsilon. Almost, well, 3 players coming in to try to defend that area, block off the choke points, to smoke it up, and they have done so successfully. So good job there from Epsilon.
You can see Dignitas now starting to creep towards the A bomb site. Device going to be looking to get that first opening. You can see Biggie trying to peek the corner of the smoke there, but did manage to connect with each other. FXio is in a very aggressive position here. Just stopping that flank, that kind of flank from dupreeh. And the Dignitas team are going to have to worry about Effexio and speed things up now as they have no one protecting their back. That's going to be the AWP back in the hands of Epsilon now, doing the Ring of Roses. It's going to be thrown over to Effexio, so you can see that the round where GMX was playing the AWP on B was almost definitely timing pick, as Dan explained. Now it's going to be back in the hands of the man who can, which is Effexio.
The timing there was really interesting because dupreeh actually was pushing into into the B bomb site, and it actually left it open, and he almost found out that information, almost, but pulled back just a little bit too soon, and then his team committed to A, so that could have been a very different round. Either way, so far so good for Epsilon holding against these pistols. The wall of smokes, though, is going to just leave some level of obscurity there in middle, but this push is being pretty well deflected so far, and the cajunb is not going to find too much of any fun really here. No action at all there.
Ooh.
Not catching anybody with that rotation.
He got Effexio for a solid 88 HP in the face with a Rec 9. Didn't manage to connect with the frag. AWP coming out again for Dignitas, as we do indeed have the double AWPs coming out on the Epsilon side. We've got GMX now going to roll with one, and Effexio with the second one. So GMX again going to be holding B on his own as we have a 3-man push into mid from the riflers on the Epsilon side. Definitely mid, often a place which needs a big presence at the start of a round, as there can be massive battles to take control of it.
We are definitely seeing Epsilon putting a lot of focus there. It does give you a lot of really fast rotation options to either side should you spot the info quickly enough. And now we can see them giving up mid, just voiding it completely. It's now a complete open area for the taking for Dignitas. Not something they necessarily know, though. And Epsilon perhaps a little bit hungry now to actually understand what's going on the map. As so much time has passed and they've not really seen anything. But there are the mid smokes, usually going to indicate a push or a split on B. We're actually seeing the rotation coming in a little bit there towards B. So A is looking a bit weaker, and this push could very well become an A split, actually. We do have 3 players in A main and some distraction going on towards B. So they might just be selling this now, but dupreeh goes down straight away. They've got to hit A main quickly before Epsilon work this out. In they go, Uzzziii with a couple great frags there. That is huge right there from Uzzziii. karrigan going in over the top, going to be able to just drop that bomb down on the site. In goes Effexio, though. Great shot there from Effexio, catching karrigan as he left the plant spot. It's all on cajunb now. Over by Højsleth. This is a very hard position. Spots the first player, but now he's they know where he is, and they're going to deal with him very easily. But that was a good round from both teams, actually.
Yeah, that was excellent play there by Dignitas, especially with those 2 smokes in the mid area. You could see that they were basically the initial smokes that were thrown were used to bait the CTs from peeking into from CT mid, so the AWPer who was boosted could take them out, because they didn't really have that much presence after throwing the smoke. They had one person in mid a bit later on, so you can see it was definitely a bait smoke to try and get some easy picks on the Epsilon side. Good retake there from Epsilon with the numbers advantage versus cajunb. Got the eco coming in as well. Scream gonna have to be conservative with his silence and 4 bullets, but gets overrun by the T's. They're going to get a bomb plant, and karrigan's got an AWP as well, so they could do some serious damage here. They've got a 1-man advantage. If karrigan finds the right angles at the right time, they could even take this round.
Very nice position here indeed. A little bit stuck on the site, but that's okay. Re-smoke there from karrigan. Epsilon going to have to try to push themselves through that. That's a nice Molotov over the top, actually, into the site. That's going to help out a little bit, eliminate some positions, but Dignitas holding it down. Biggie going to come in from B storage here still, but has to get through device. He will take him out, but not enough health, not enough time, and he's going to have to get out of there. Dignitas to pick up another round here. This is a nail-biting match here between these 2 sides, round for round, and the economy is definitely looking better now for Dignitas, and they could, this late into the match, they could start turning this into a significant or game-winning advantage.
Yeah, this is a difficult situation for Epsilon, because if they buy and lose this round, then they may be in a really bad situation. Whereas if they eco, then it's probably going to be 12-12. They have indeed gone for the buy. 3 players without helmets, but it's only going to matter unless if they come up against XII, who's running the M4, so that's basically an AK now versus those players. Now we have the smokes we saw from GMX coming out from karrigan as we have a very fast push into the A bomb site. Let's have a look at where these plays are. Uzzziii is boosted. He could do severe damage here to the Dignitas team. Let's have a look. He has to get away from these flashbangs first. His teammates are falling on the site. They haven't identified his position just yet. Takes down two more left on the site. One man advantage to Epsilon. Can't plant the bomb because of the perfectly timed Molotov there. GMX with a flank as well. This is not looking good for Dignitas.
This could be very well done. GMX gets in there, the perfect timing. Again, just waiting it out. We saw great patience in a similar situation from Epsilon on the T side. Dignitas now have to prove that they have nerves of steel as well. The bomb is going to go down. There's the peek from Device. Killed GMX. Huge frag there. Huge frag from Device. Gets the second as well. Scream hits the floor. FXio now coming in with the AWP from short. Looking for an angle. Going to be able to spot one just barely, but whiffs the shot. That's precious wasted seconds now. As that bomb ticks away more and more. And FXio now realizes that he's going to have to get out of there. That's a good effort there by Epsilon, but Device, got to hand it to him. Retaking A main there. Massive plays.
You can see FXio had no choice at the end there. He, after just spotting a kind of whisker of one player, he was looking for the player who would be searching for the trade frag there. He had to look away towards the site, try and find out if that guy was on the right of the red box or the left of the red box, or if he was back at quad boxes. But he couldn't find him in time, so it wasn't worth the risk. Doesn't have the dynamic. If he takes out one player, he's almost guaranteed to get taken out by the other player in a trade frag while he can't shoot his AWP. So better off running away to save it. It's going to be 12-12, and now Epsilon find themselves in a difficult spot where we have one AWP and 4 people on the eco. FXio, though, in the right place. See how much damage he can do. Oh, too aggressive a position. Gets taken out by a grenade. That's going to be 4 AKs onto the site. Scream with a 5-7, though. And now we're seeing the Scream we all know and love. 2 players down for Dignitas. 1 man advantage for Epsilon. When they try and plant the bomb, it's going to be only 1 person who can fire a gun. So they're in a very difficult situation now.
And they've thrown all their smokes. All they have left is 2 flashes here. Will it matter? Apparently not. karrigan with 2 great kills there with that AK. And the third one, good spray down. That's going to be another round for Dignitas as they take control of the match. And we are edging again. Somehow Epsilon are just barely staving off, just going completely broke here. But they will have to win this round now again. And if they don't, then Dignitas are going to be on match point essentially. And they have a great situation on this money, so they're going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable. Got the AWP in the hands of Xipnix, who was looking for that timing into mid there. And they've got a lot of presence here looking at this A push. There's 3 players on this bomb site to defend it, though, for Epsilon. Nice little pop flash there through the door as Dignitas try to barrel their way in there. But there is a player very, very close as well on the barrels. This is looking good for Epsilon, but positionally, but they're not making the frags, they're not hitting the shots. Biggie coming in from that barrel position, able only to take down 1 player before the trade comes in. Epsilon now have to rest their hopes all on Scream. So he tries to make his way in from the truck. So it's going to be very difficult. He's going to have to do so well to get in here. He's trying to flash himself over. Not spotted anybody yet. And Scream is going to back away, understanding the predicament here. It is brutal. Absolutely brutal.
What can they do in this situation? Dignitas are going to be 2 rounds away. Let's have a look at the money they're going to get once this round has completed, because they may have to play for a draw here if they don't get a lot of money. I mean, they have next to nothing in the bank, so any buy that comes out from them is going to be quite ropey at best.
We will stay alive, though. Just barely. And that's something. But yeah, this is a pretty weird position for Epsilon. They either just, well, yeah, I guess just playing for the overtime here. Actually, it's SLTV.
Ah, indeed, it is SLTV,
so
not face it. So there isn't overtime. So
they go for the last second buy there. So yeah, that's obviously the
but
best.
Maybe they had the same conversation. Maybe
Yeah,
it isn't face it.
It's face it or SLTV, and they are going to creep up A main on Dignitas with that. Just a little crab walk with the AKs. And there's cajunb looking for that shot. Nice little flash there. No peek yet from Epsilon though, so they don't see it coming in until it's too late. cajunb with a good entry onto Biggie. Looking like this site's about to get overrun here, unless FXio can do something about it. got that CZ in his hands. Does take down karrigan. There's extra bullets coming in handy. Uzzziii creeping through the smoke. Denied by cajunb. 2 more left now for Epsilon as their numbers are thinned out even more. But Scream is not going to go down easily. So we do have Dignitas with some great spots here to hold from. Device going to drop down GMX from that upper position. So hard to work their way in here. Epsilon really suffering on these A retakes. And Dignitas targeting that weakness once again as we see match point for them.
It is a best of 3 today, guys. All the matches we will see this week and next from SLTV are going to be best of 3 matches. So it's not over for Epsilon if they fail to win this round. Game point here for Dignitas. Lots of money in the bank here. Going to have the AWP on device. Going for timing shots in mid, but nobody to be found there. They're going to put 3 people on the A site with 1 playing kind of A slope to mid. You can see that's going to be Effexio, but he's going a little bit deeper. Going to rotate to Car now, so let's see where he ends up. Maybe quick peek in mid. Or he's going backwards and forwards, it seems. As the bomb is indeed over towards the B bomb site. We have Uzzziii taking out karrigan, which is going to force a full rotation from the CTs here. They're lacking in information. You can see GMX having to run into the mid area. He could have a flank a bit later on. You can see dupreeh still causing more trouble, shooting somebody in the back to the A bomb site. He's shot like 3 of them. CT's not knowing what to do right now. Where is the bomb?
They have actually rotated 2 players into the B area though to Scream on the bomb site. That Molotov is going to be quite annoying. Scream has to just go down to headshot. Does pick up a kill though. So they're doing well so far. Scream, another frag with the FAMAS. Can he find anything else? There's a couple more players over by the vent area, and these are the last 2 remaining ones. Scream to pick up the 3rd one. And there is 1 more frag to be found by Scream. He won't get it, but just dupreeh left now on 5 health. So dupreeh would certainly be doing very well to get out of this situation alive, and he is going to go down, and we'll see Epsilon picking up another round. So still match point here for Dignitas. Still quite a lot of cash, but Epsilon are now bringing things a little bit back into their favor. We do have an AWP on Effexio as well.
They won that round with a reasonable amount of players alive, which allows them to, again, buy AWP and other things. Actually, that could have been taken from the T's. That would have made more sense. Indeed, it is. It's devices AWP. But again, it keeps them all furnished with rifles, primary weapons. You have a 2-man push here towards the B vent straight away. Trade frags coming in for Dignitas. It's going to give them the bomb site and a 1-man advantage. With the smoke going down into CT, that's going to waste a lot of time and make it really hard for Epsilon to get back into this site. The bomb is about to go down for the Dignitas side. This could be the end for Epsilon. It's all going to come down to these frags. No more smokes left for Dignitas, just a bunch of flashbangs and a grenade. So their post-plant positions are going to have to be optimal to stop Epsilon here.
Snappy B-split here, looking very effective. Trades coming in though on the retake. In goes Uzzziii. Huge play from him. Has to spin around though. Cannot handle it. 16-13. Dignitas will come out with the victory there. Really well done by Epsilon, to be honest, because they looked a lot better than they have been in some of the recent matches I've seen them play. So really good effort by Epsilon. That's a great way to start the series. I think Dignitas would be a little bit surprised too, but they played an excellent match. So very much looking forward to the next map, which should be Dust 2.
It should be Dust 2 indeed. So again, as Dan said, that was a really good showing from Epsilon. Quite surprising as well. Didn't know what to expect, but was kind of erring on the side of negativity. But absolutely, that's
You're that kind of guy, are you, James?
That's the strongest performance we've seen from them in a while. So we will be back in a few minutes with the second map. In the meantime, again, we had some massive CS:GO Lounge giveaways this week. We gave away 2 AKs, 2 AKs case hardened factory news, but they weren't claimed by either person. So we're going to do a subscriber giveaway for 1 today. So we're going to do it between this map and Dust 2. So during the break, there will be a giveaway instructional thing. My words are leaving me. But you'll see it on the schedule page, so we will see you after the break.